Hi. I just had a really noteworthy conversation I would love to talk to you about, which is over delivering, okay, in this particular context, in codependency. I was always that friend who would write novels of text messages. And if I shared something with somebody, I would immediately step in to basically back why I shared that thing. So I just got off of a call with somebody who was talking about how when she just shares what's true for her, which is very uncomfortable to the codependent, she immediately jumps into this other position, which I felt and said, like, hey, you're in a different groove now. What are we talking about here? Because this isn't the you that was speaking a minute ago. Which part of you is speaking right now? Because this part is not in alignment with the truth that we're just talking about you sharing with the world. And the experience that I felt on the other side of that was, it was very clear. Like, one way of her being was in alignment, which was in her truth. She could state something very clearly and say, this is true. But the second that she started to defend her truth, and in her experience, she would say, I'm not defending my truth, but that's the subconscious thing that's happening, is all of a sudden she steps out of the truth position into this person might need more from me, or I might need to defend like why this is my truth. And if you are somebody who has had to defend your truth your whole life, and been told that your truth isn't your truth, it makes a lot of sense why you would want to over deliver in this way. But in this way, you're actually under delivering. You're actually over dumping. Like, you're dumping because there's one layer that I see this, if you're looking at the circles, there's one layer which is you're in your truth, you're aligned, you're in your truth, you feel into all of the grooves that are you. And the other way is like, then all of a sudden you think about what they might think and what they might need. And you step into a second position. And when you do that, because you feel the need to kind of like have justification for your truth, you're looking back at your truth, and from their perspective, it seems like you're kind of being defensive. And you might not even, I don't think that my friends would ever think, oh, she's coming across as defensive right now. But the more true reality is, doesn't matter how I expressed it, I didn't feel justified to leave a simple yes or no, or this is the truth. I always felt obligated to say, this is the truth and ... How can I make you feel comfortable in it? And what they would feel from that is the gap between me and my truth, right? Because I would be going, okay, now I have to justify my truth, and how does this feel for you? The second I step into that, how does this feel for you second position, instead of staying in my own position and saying like, I feel this for me, and I can see that you're having an experience with my truth, and I'm staying here. The second I step into that other position and go, how does this feel for this person, and how can I get them on board with the truth, and how can I make them feel comfortable in the truth? They might not feel comfortable in the truth. And you trying to defend the truth, right, is only going to basically make them feel even more uncomfortable, because you're defending from a place of lack instead of standing in a place of fullness and being from your truth. Which the truth, I always say to people, the truth needs no defense. It always finds itself out, right? The truth always finds itself out. It never needs a defense. And a lot of codependents will dabble in truth and then like jump to defend it and like, well, this is my truth, and I'm so sorry that this is my truth, but let me defend this truth because you might not be comfortable, instead of staying in position and being in the truth. And the truth is normally pretty brief, right? It doesn't need novels. It's just, it is what it is. And my old self would have felt rude relating that way, right? Like, oh my God, I'm not giving all of the information. That means I'm not connecting, yada, yada, yada. And now I can go, oh, brevity is actually kindness. Because I would have, my healthier friends back in the day would be like, why are you sending me novels, dude? Just answer my question. And I'd be like, what do you mean? No, you need all the information? And they'd be like, nah, actually it was a waste of my time. Can you please not do that, right? So we think sometimes that our defense of the truth, because we're uncomfortable standing in it when we want to like kind of like lean into them or have them lean into us. We're uncomfortable with standing in the truth. We think we're over delivering, and really we're just over dumping. When you deliver the truth, it just expands. It just is what it is. It doesn't need a defensive language backing it up. So we want to actually work to stand in our truth on an energetic level, and then the communication becomes easy and brief. But it's when we waver in our truth energetically that we're like, oh my God, I have to defend the truth with language. And that defense can be felt as defensive and as very off-putting and confusing to somebody who's like, you're telling me the truth, but you're also like slathering it in a bunch of like candy or something. Like, what's happening here? Because where are you in this whole scenario? Like, where are you in you to even be saying this to me right now? So I hope that this was helpful. Sometimes brevity is actually kindness. Sometimes an answer that is simple, short, and sweet is not blowing somebody off. It's not abandoning them. It's not being disloyal to them. It's just, it is what it is. They asked you for an answer, and you don't need to dump your defenses to justify that answer, right? Because what is felt is not over delivery, it's over dumping. Okay, hope this was helpful.